In this video, we're going to take a quick look at using for loops with your list. As with strings, you can use a for loop to create a list or change a list. You can manipulate them and get some information out of them as you need with a for loop. So let's look at how that would work in Python. So what I've done is I've typed up the code that I have here, my list, and there's nothing in it. For num in range 5, meaning starting at 1 and going through 5, my list.append num. So it's going to go through the num range of 5, and it's going to add those 5 numbers to my list. Then I'm going to print my list. Then I have my nums, which is a new list I'm creating, and I have some numbers in it, and I'm saying for num in my nums, print the numbers. So it's going to go in and it's going to go through the for loop and it's going to print each one of the numbers. Then I've printed a blank line just to have a blank line in between so you can see each of the items that we're working on. And then I created a variable called total, and I'm using a for loop that says for num in my nums. So it's going back into the my nums list, and it's going to take each one of those numbers and it is going to add it to total. So it's going to go through the list and it's going to say total plus equals num. So whatever num I'm on, so 56 is the first one, it'll put 56 in total. Then it will add 65 to 56 and it'll keep doing that until it gets a total. So you're going to save this as list for loops, just showing that you're creating lists and using for loops with them. You're going to run it, and here we have our results. So I did my for num in range 5, starting at 0, going to 5, or getting 5 numbers. So it starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then here I have my for loop, and I have printed out each of the numbers in my nums. And then here I totaled up the value that was in my nums. Now you're going to need to keep a hold of this. You're going to use these in your assignment. Use some for loops to do some actions on some lists that I have for you. And you might need to go back and look at that, or go back and look at your for loop actions that we've done previously in our last semester classes. If you need to, on conditionals, go back and look and see how for loops work, play around with this, add them, subtract them, multiply, look to see if certain numbers are in there, whether or not something is even or odd. And, take a look using for loops and play with the code. If you have any questions, please contact me.